about what happened to the lady in Granville. So if you'd like a serious conversation about that and other situations, as a woman, I'm inviting you on. You know, young lady life was snuffed out. Terrible, man. Terrible. Yes, guys, good night. So please, may I ask you if you like and share the videos in the comment. Please, and thanks.
You know, let me ask again, Attorney General, Attorney General, Auditor General. If we this back, this what I'm saying, and demand. When come back, when the Auditor General found, when she found, yeah,
On the same topic, the matters of the Auditor General's report on Hurricane
nah,
Willis.
like, you know, a Papa Fish a favor, me no know him twin. Me see that face before, you know. A body figure and a face before. That Papa Fisher.
Thank you, thank you, Uni.
Papa Fish. Papa Fish, you know. Yeah, continue.
The relief initiatives across the country. But now we have with us the Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, that's ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale. Good afternoon, well, good evening, Commander.
Good evening, Siobhan. Good evening to you and your listeners.
Good evening to you too. So we have a statement here from your agency, Commander Gale. So I'm just going to give you the opportunity just to respond, to give your immediate reaction to the findings from the Auditor General that out of about $1.44 billion collected in donations, only about 26 million has been spent. How do you respond to that concern raised by the Auditor General?
I thank you for the opportunity, Siobhan. So I want to start by indicating that the government take the findings of the Auditor General quite serious, and we recognize the importance there to strengthen governance and inventory management systems and our procurement, administration, and the whole delivery and documenting and reporting mechanisms required. And what I'll also indicate is that I want to assure the public, rather, that all the materials purchased in support of the government-directed roof repair program from donated funds have been accounted for and brought onto an inventory management system.
It is.
Okay, and that information has been forwarded to the Auditor General to satisfy her of those concerns?
I believe we did respond in that manner that we have accounted for the items. What also indicate first the matter concerning the donated funds.
Thank you.
Yes, some $1.4 billion have been donated to ODPEM accounts. At the material time, and I want to contextualize it, we have spent some $26 million
yes,
to support the government-directed roof repair program under the shelter.
So the government, you support government roof under the shelter, you spend 26 million. But you tell me, say you spend 146 million. We just paid before. This is how him come. Him come out, come tell me, say 146. That means them get some more money with them and hiding it. Yeah? See 26 out there, sir. And then may have some papers that show some of the money we spend with the JDF with $34 million what the material now. The money that disappear. They won't go receive out of the 120 million. They won't go receive like too much million out of short $30 million. You understand? 34. I have that too, you know, I have it right. See? So a lot of things are going on. But you know, say this should even be a talking point right now. I mean, I like the Papa Fish account in front of me. You know. So him just admit about 126. I mean, I even want to hear what I say because Papa Fish I try to chat to him and it's not going to work. But let me tell you, the whole line is, you know, you have big dirty thinking water. Nasty thinking water. Came, I'm a movie. Because I'm a nasty up the place. So I'm a movie, Papa Fish. He resembles somebody twin do, you know. He resembles an ex twin us, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Say, Papa Fish. This shouldn't even be an argument.
True.
Because you get something to donate.
Yes.
It's not the government money.
Right.
Any other, if a Red Cross, he get it our father, how long them that give it out. Right? Bujo, them go give it to them give and them cut on Buju. And I see the whole of them jump up on Buju throat and blam, 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 blam. After them pull the barrel and take out the little camp store. Now I see them coming down 4 burner. It can't run about this all them dunks. Then they realize that, you know, Uno, we're poor there play politics with people who are one government accountable. We don't play politics around here. Yeah? We hold government accountable and just have hold them accountable. And the government is up to be enough for them in there. Them are juggies and them are thieves. Them are scammers. So we hold them accountable. Yes, you understand? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It look like a 20 something where, I don't know, but yeah, that's Papa Fish there. All right? So, yeah, that's the cover now, no. If them shouldn't even have the money left out of the money they get to the donation. Now, you agree with me? If you get something to give the people there, remember, none of them have the baby and all kind of things, you know. We need farming, we need something to lose, bread and everything.
Listen, man, people need all fridge. People need all type of something. People need bed. People need roof. It's an emergency. How do you justify not giving the person the help in an emergency 7 months after the fact? And the money is just sitting there, and then, you know, the JLP send out them clown Marlon Morgan to come and put out the statement that he did. Yo, man, they make me grieve in a Jamaica. Arvel, big up yourself. It can't be justified. Cannot be justified. Cannot be justified, Jamaica. It is wrong on all accounts. Cannot be justified. Somebody said, oh yes, I knew I mean, let's try remember which something more I find in a man. Yo, so much things I want. Let me tell you something emotionally drained. My mind tired, Jamaica. My mind is just too much what is going on. I'm telling you the truth. Too much. Listen to this.
Good morning. This morning I want to talk to Jamaican, every Jamaican overseas, abroad, and here locally, and every well-thinking citizen. The hurricane season starts in 2 weeks. Most of the shelters in Western Jamaica are still without a roof.
Mhm.
Most of our churches are still without a roof. Most of our schools are still being repaired and some not getting repaired at all. Most of the roads are still bad from Hurricane Melissa. Most of you are still without a roof and don't know where the roof will come from. That's what we face. And I say that against the backdrop that the government received $1.4 billion with a B in cash donation from Jamaicans and civil society and donor organization to help you, the people of Jamaica, Western Jamaica. And 7 months later, you're still waiting because the government only spent 26 million out of the 1.4 billion. Most of you still don't have a bed to lay on because the bed got destroyed in Hurricane Melissa also. The question is, where do we go from here? And as a member of parliament, I literally can't tell you because all of you are calling me daily, asking me still where can I get a little help to repair the roof. And the Ministry of Labour has stopped the program in terms of you reporting to get a little help for your roof. And most of you, 100,000 can't help you, or even 500 when you lose everything. And the government responded by saying to you that the government didn't say it was going to do everything. But at least the government could give you a start. Most of the tourism operators, the small tourism operators, still don't get no help yet. Still don't get no help yet. All the shopkeepers that your roof blow off still don't get no little help yet. That's what you're faced with. That's what we are faced with. So when you call me and ask me about roof, about where you can get a start, the Ministry of Labour is basically controlling, the government is controlling the program with minimal input from the members of parliament in Western Jamaica. You know, it's disappointing. It is sad. I am embarrassed as a member of parliament that we don't offer more help to the people of Jamaica when we get the money, cash money, to give to the people. 7 months later. And you still wait. And we still wait. It is sad. It is disturbing. It is not honorable, even though they call most of us honorable. It is dishonorable.
Of course.
It is
Hey,
sad.
Mr. Ains. Speak the truth and speak it whole, my brother. That's why I'm not respect for them, bro. I'm not call them the honorable, bro. Them have to operate in a more honorable manner. I'm call them honorable. There is no honorable. Honorable what? What is honorable about what they're doing to the victims of Hurricane Melissa? What is honorable about that?
Where is the hope in my country for the hopelessness? Where is the hope for the hopeless? Where is the help for the have-nots outside of those who have already? You see, I want to end by thanking every Jamaican who, after the hurricane, you got in your car, you buy up a little extra something, even when you couldn't afford it, and you find a little gas and you drive down to the country to help your fellow Jamaican. I want to tell you thanks. And I've seen it firsthand every single day after hurricane. I want to tell each of you thanks. And I want to tell each of you thanks for your bawling out and crying out for better to come. This is just my view this Friday morning. God bless you and thank you.
Why Marlin Malawi? Why you know one tough place, man. I tell no lie. You're Marlin Malawi, I said. Right, that's so. They never go into the main part of this show. Man, I give people them some time. Good morning, Laura. How you doing? Carl, Candy, Sheila, Courtney, Faith, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night. Wherever you are in the world, you got to say, God, yo, the man, them, yo, the man, yeah. Ooh, Lord of mercy, read my cause, oh Lord. Oh my God. Mm, mm. Oh, 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 observer. Jamaica militarily have, you know them, yeah, like, I try to contain and just ease myself, but really, I am bothered. I'm very bothered by the situation.
Right. And I know that community is angry, grieving, and searching for answers. The good thing is that the investigation is being assisted by camera footage. And the investigation has proceeded swiftly. I want to ask you to stay on the right side of the law. I don't want any response in the community to result in a suppression of anything. So I know that you are angry. Be angry, but sin not. Be assured that answers will come in this case. Because what has happened today is not right.
All right, Laura.
Not right. So difficult as it might be, difficult as it might be, I'm asking you to keep the peace and allow me to make the representation on your behalf. And there is no division along party lines in dealing with this matter. So we don't have to bring partisan politics in it. But you can be assured that the answers will come in this case.
Certainly.
Right? So, beg you, go home if you can. Look out for each other. I just don't want anything that will result in any security measure that has to be imposed in this space.
Right.
And then it becomes worse. There are a lot of young children in the space, a lot of mothers and fathers. Beg you, go home. Let the law take its course. And I hear you. I understand the distrust. I understand the situation, but we're going to have to let the law take its course. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Jamaica, you know, I hope that Marlon Malawufort is being sincere. I really do. She's making a sound argument. These are all sound arguments. I can give credit to her credit is due. I'm surprised at some of the things that she actually said. She said, you know, it's good thing that body worn cameras is being used in this case. So Marlon Malawufort, your entire government has been against body worn camera. It's interesting for you to say that. But you, she seems to be the lone wolf out of the pack, you know. It seems that the pack has rejected her. But in this case, I don't think that's what is at play here. I think this is her conscience. But then again, I have to be mindful of giving persons that much credit from the Jamaica Labour Party. So I'm going to watch and see. And the only reason why I'm even giving her that much credit is because of the confidence that and respect that Isaac Buchanan has for her. As he respects her, you know. Isaac Buchanan respects her as a colleague. So, you know. But I'm telling you, Jamaica, this thing make me, it's like I'm not there, but me I experience one burden for my mind and my heart and my spirit over this thing. I want to something about this. Something about this. Something about this, Jamaica. Wow. But the war against sovereignty is what we're here to talk about. What is sovereignty? Our nice big word, you know, but it's a nice big word, you know, Mr. Radcliffe. Sovereignty, but it has a very simple meaning. So sovereignty is the ultimate power, authority, and independence. All right, that is sovereignty. A governing body, such as a state, has to govern itself, make laws, manage its territory. Listening up, manage its territory, make laws without outside interference. Jamaica, let me say that again. Sovereignty involves governing yourself, making laws, and managing territory without outside interference. It is the defining feature of a nation that demonstrates its own political, social, and economic destiny. The concept is generally divided into two main categories: internal sovereignty, right? The supreme authority. A government has to enforce laws, maintain order, and manage affairs without its own, within its own borders. Sorry, let me say that again. Internal sovereignty is the supreme authority. A government has to enforce laws, maintain order, and manage affairs within its borders. External sovereignty, a state's independence and freedom from outside control by other foreign nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys know me have afraid of police, them cause them a real gunman. You know, it warms my heart, you're unique, that you actually listen and you actually pay attention to what's going on. I really appreciate that because it's a issue that all of us have to really decide how we're going to maneuver the space that we're in. You know, if you're somebody that travels across the island, indeed you're going to have more interactions with the police automatically than somebody that stays within their own community. Authentic intelligence, big up, right? You understand? So trust me, we really you have to pray, you have to cover your kids, then cover yourself, ask God protection. I tell you because you never know when you go book up on one of the madman them in the force. Somebody will mentally unstable that has a weapon on them. And I'm sorry, it's a very, very tough situation, but it is the situation. We know that there's good police, but where was the good police when that man unalived the lady in Granville? Where was the good police? Did they arrest him immediately? Did they take his weapon? Hmm? What was their actions? Did they just stand by idly and watch? Because they have the authority to arrest each other if they have gone or if they have broken the law. Yes, you never know that. The police have the authority to arrest other police that has operated outside of the law. Thank you so much, AI. What did they do in that space when that happened? And they saw what happened. What did they do? So I challenge the JC as the commissioner, all of them, that want to PR this thing. But I'm going to leave that alone right now because you see, it's on my heart, so I keep going back to it. It really is. May I tell you, say Jamaica. I don't know if you can see bird upon me, but it's really bothering me. It's really bothering me. It's really bothering me. I don't know this lady from nowhere. It's not about politics. It is about people. It's about their human rights. It's really bothering me. What has taken place this Sunday afternoon? It's bothering me. It really is. Wow. But that is what sovereignty means. And we're going to go back to it from time to time. It's because it's very important in regards to the conversation that we're going to have tonight, because this is about a war against sovereignty. But whose sovereignty? The sovereignty of the Maroons. I want you guys to Google it on your phones and your devices. Is the Maroons of Jamaica a sovereign state? So there's an article here. Sovereignty and the Maroons. On Sunday, Prime Minister Andrew Jones declared that there is no other sovereign authority in Jamaica. Sorry. Mm. Prime Minister of Jamaica said there's no other sovereign authority in Jamaica other than the government of Jamaica under my relationship, under my leadership. Not one inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority, thus confirming that no state funding will be given to the Maroon community. It is clear that the Prime Minister is not very knowledgeable of the history of the Maroons, the administrative history of Jamaica, and the ever evolving concept of sovereignty. Over the last 10 years, I have been studying the administration history of the British West Indies territories. I have placed specific focus on, oh my God, what just happened? What is this? Oh, sorry, my bad, y'all. Hold on, wait, what? Yes. Um, I have placed special focus on the connection between the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, and it's because and it is behind this research interest that I will offer my views on the administration connection between colonial or independent Jamaica and the Jamaica Maroon communities. A detailed survey of the historical documents has revealed that the British Colonial Office, which was responsible for administering administrating British colonies in the Caribbean, Africa, and Asia, was not very thorough. This created much frustration and confusion within the administrative structure in many British colonies. For example, since 1662, colonial Jamaica included mainland Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Pedro Keys, and Moran Keys. Although colonial Jamaica included the Cayman Islands, the British did not put much effort into governing the Cayman Islands and other dependencies attached to colonial Jamaica. Thus, no serious attempt was made to solve the administrative anomalies between these territories. After much complaint in 1865, the British passed the Imperial Act, which clearly outlined colonial Jamaica's relationship with her dependency, uh, dependency in Cayman Islands. Later, Tobago was joined to Trinidad, and Turks and Caicos uh, was joined to Jamaica. Thus, until 1962, colonial Jamaica had several independencies such as Cayman, Turks, Moran Keys, Pedro Keys. Only Cayman and Turks were anonymous dependencies. You know, in 1962, Jamaica opted for independence, and Britain tried to force the Cayman Islands and Turks into independence along with Jamaica. This did not happen. However, the process of Jamaica independence and its connection to her autonomous, I said anonymous, it should have been autonomous dependency earlier with the Cayman and Turks. The autonomous dependency created much confusion. The British Hansard reported a member of parliament calling the situation constitutionally um, novel, constitutional novelty. Another vexing issue, hey, the English is in another vexing issue that remains unclear from the colonial period and the independence of Jamaica is the connection of the Maroon settlement to independent state of Jamaica. The 1739 treaty established the Maroons as an autonomous state and authority within colonial Jamaica. The Maroon chief represents his autonomous community, and a white captain was appointed by colonial Jamaica as its representative within the Maroon village. During the period, there were many interactions between the appointed British governor and the Maroon chief. Even after slavery ended, the Jamaica colonial government and the British colonial office relied on Maroons to sabotage Morant Bay uprisings in 1865. Guys, I want you guys to pay attention. Wagwan Splash Digi. Yeah, bro, you know, so me send you one link. I don't know if you see it. Send you one link, you know, bro. Hmm. If they didn't want to join the EU, they would not have given independence, says AI. It's a Maroon time now. But just read the article, you know. We're getting to it, you know. I'm going to share the light, please. Thank you. All right. It says here that during the period, there were many interactions between the appointed British governor, and the Maroon chief. Even after slavery ended, the Jamaica colonial government and the British colonial office relied on Maroons to sabotage the Morant Bay uprising. You hear that? All right. In 1962, the Maroon community raised the issue when Jamaica opted for independence. The Maroon chief wrote to the British government asking it to clearly state the connection between the newly independent Jamaica state and the autonomous community of the Maroons. To date, no attempt has been made to solve the crisis, despite Michael Manley government made attempts to integrate the Maroon community through frequent visits to the area, meetings and giving state fundings to schools, which were established in Akonkong by Presbyterian missionaries. So there is a confusion, ladies and gentlemen, um, because the British colony did not clearly state the the situation. So I hadn't settled extremely busy. All right, Verna, what's up? What's up, bro? Pick up yourself. So this is very serious in Jamaica. We get a better understanding. I hope you are as well. I'm getting a better understanding as to what is really going on with this treaty thing. So basically, what I'm understanding is that they didn't settle on the relationship between Jamaica as an independent state and the Maroons. Sorry, the Maroons autonomous autonomous independence. You understand? So it must be noted that the Maroons 1739 treaty has outlived its purpose in a newly independent Jamaica. So what they're saying here is that the 79 treaty has outlived its purpose. We are no longer a slave society. However, one principle that should be opted by independent Jamaica is to continue to recognize the Maroons as an autonomous community. This can be done through a new treaty or appointing a cabinet minister with responsibility for Maroon affairs, thereby enabling regular and formal dialogue between the Maroon community and the government of Jamaica. Dominica has a minister of Carinago affairs. The PMP in the last election had plans in their manifesto to do something similar or same. PMP didn't win. So I want to ask the people out there that are Maroons. You didn't vote? You didn't educate yourself on Andrew Onas's posture towards the Maroons, and you didn't educate yourself about this particular thing right here. It's for your own self-interest if you're out there, no? So let's move on. It says that the Prime Minister should note that the Maroons, being an autonomous territory or state within independent Jamaica, does not mean that Jamaica State should not fund social programs or projects within the Maroon territory. Let me read that again. Andrew One should note that the Maroons, being an autonomous territory or state within independent Jamaica, does not mean that the Jamaican state not should not, that doesn't mean they should not fund social programs or projects within the Maroon territory. Although Maroons are autonomous, based on the 1739 treaty, they are still Jamaican citizens. Maroons are deeply assimilated within the Jamaican state through history, culture, family connection, and of greater importance is the fact that we are all people of African descent who have been oppressed by Europeans. Can you imagine Andrew Jones coming to oppress the Maroons, ladies and gentlemen? To trample on their autonomous independence, to trample on their sovereignty. Can you imagine? We're gonna get into it. I tell you, like and share this video. Don't keep this to yourself. I need you guys to share this with 20 people. Obviously, tonight, I don't know what's going on, but people are definitely not getting the notifications, or they might have sleep without work tomorrow. Who knows? Probably I shouldn't have done this live, but I'm already 37 minutes in, and I'm very interested in this article. And of course, I have other things to come that I'm sure you'll be interested in as well. Big up you, my brother. Good work. Maroon time now. No, we have to understand these things, because at the end of the day, if they violate the Maroons, I believe they violate all Jamaicans. And let me tell you why. The Maroons were the first to actually be free. If it wasn't for their bravery, blood that was spilt, Jamaica would not have independence. Period. I want you to think about that. So if we have a prime minister, Uncle Mark, big up. If we have a prime minister, bless up yourself, Sylvan, my honorable member of the platform. If we have a prime minister that no one wants to trample on the Maroons and their autonomy, get involved in their elections, have plans. And you're gonna hear why I say that. And I'm asking the question if Hector X, big up yourself, we should condemn the prime minister for any such um actions that we can prove. If it even appears as if he's doing that, we should condemn it. Thank you so much for the becoming a fan, part of the fan club. You understand? Respect. Let's continue. It says here that uh, Maroons are, yeah, I read that already. There are many examples throughout the world. For example, Canada, United States, Australia, Brazil, Dominica, Suriname, French Guinea, where indigenous communities enjoy autonomy but are well integrated in the various nation states and enjoy overall benefits through state funding and citizenship. By funding Maroon, our indigenous communities, and recognizing the long established autonomy that they have, we are reasserting our path for these communities that have borne the brunt of European colonialism. We should not adopt the approach of our former colonial masters by waging war with the Maroons. Isn't that what Andrew Owen's posture seems to be? Yeah, UK Maroons in the building. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Star G. Is that Star G? Star G 111, big up. Yeah, so Andrew Wallace's posture, he goes on to say Maroon's autonomy represents liberation for all Jamaicans. And I'm saying Andrew Wallace's posture towards the Maroons in recent years, his posture meaning the things uttered out of his mouth. Recently he went there and he smiled and ha 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 and all of this, you know what I mean? No, Destiny, a good man. Yeah man, you're welcome man. Pick up yourself, man. I don't even know how it is. You mash up my meds. You mash up my meds. When me see you now, I think back for man. I look on the video them on the something and I see them take up a lady body and the way the man them deal with the lady, bro, I tell you. The man them are some vampire, the man them are heartless, bro. Anyway, what may I say? Andrew Jones' posture towards Maroon them was very aggressive. Don't come to me with this nonsense. That's how guerrilla warfare starts. But we are gonna get into that. All right. It goes on to say, finally, I want to address the issue of Maroon sovereignty. When Maroons claim that their territory is sovereign state, they are simply asserting their internal sovereignty or rights to manage their own domestic affairs. This has nothing to do with the unitary state asserted by the Prime Minister. By asserting autonomy, the legal parameters of Jamaica's security forces in the community must be established. The concept of Westphalia sovereignty has evolved over the years. The Prime Minister should understand that the concept of sovereignty has been widely contested over many centuries. The accepted meaning of Westphalia sovereignty is that the nation state should control both its domestic and external affairs. Thus, no external forces is above or beyond the nation state. With the new wave of globalization, foreign state bullying, and dictating to smaller states, it is clear that the concept of sovereignty is being redefined, or, as others have argued, the traditional Westphalia concept of sovereignty is under threat. Jamaica, the sovereignty of the Maroons is under threat. The sovereignty of the people of Jamaica is also under threat. Simultaneously, this is a fact. It's a very serious issue. All right. Um, Thus, the assertion of Maroon sovereignty should not be misinterpreted with Westphalia sovereignty, right? Only Hall, in an administrative history researcher in the Department of History and Philosophy at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, Barbados, sent comments to the Jamaican Observer. That is the person arguments that we just read a while ago. So this person is learning. Could you forward those images, Bolo? Oh yeah, talk about the videos of the lady. Well, it depends on Andre Stevens' show now, bro. Yeah, man. It depends on Andre Stevens' show. Yeah, man. Down under the, 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 the third, the end third. You have three thirds. Make a whole. The end of the video. The third end of the video. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I just say him start talk about the lady and everything. And that him did end the program pan and him show the video when them a take up our body and them something. And some me see it. It show me off. I'm not telling a lie for me. It mash up my meds, brother. Mash up my meds. No look joke. Mash up my meds. Now, so we have an understanding now about sovereignty and Maroon sovereignty. It's an evolving concept. Things have changed. And we also understand that, in terms of, and I'm not a lawyer, so the best person for you to ask these questions about this situation to get further clarity is Isaac Buchanan. I am not a lawyer. and listening to him, he has no doubt that the government could not win if they was to violate the Maroons. I've heard him spoke about it, and he has no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, he's ready as a Maroon himself to go to the higher court, the Privy Council. You understand? Yes. But you see, this is why the Maroons lean towards the majority of the Maroons and Chief Curry supporters of the Maroons lean towards the People's National Party because, you know, Mark Golding has had genuine conversations. Um, Mark Golding has had genuine conversation with the chief, and Mark Golding, you know, really recognizes the value of the Maroons. He also respects their sovereignty, and he wants to uphold it. And I think that is important. For if anybody did not know that before, based off, you know, the association with Isaac Buchanan and the Maroons, him being a Maroon, and also Mark Golding, um, you know, actually, you know, the man, big up the man, Virgin. I mean, I can play the tape if you want to. For those who don't know, there might be some people here. I don't want to assume that you guys already heard what I have heard. So if you want me to play the tape when the Maroon chief did his speech at the PNP conference and he saluted Mark Golding. Thank you so much, Hector. He saluted Mark Golding. Where's the Marky Jam Maroon? Hey, he saluted Mark Golding, and you know there was a famous term that he said, "What you want me to do?" Because Andrew Honest is not giving the man any good arguments. Level 2 for the fan club. Big up yourself, Hector X. Oh, you're asking? No, 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 no. I don't know about that. I couldn't, I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't. Mark Golan is born in Jamaica, but to say he's a Maroon, you would have to be some type of lineage. I don't know about that connection at all. You understand? Remember, his parents were from England. Yeah, man. But he was born here, grew up here, went to school here. All right, let's continue. Let me find this tape right here. And we can go to the reason why Andrew Wallace really has an issue with um, the Curry, Chief Curry. Yeah. There's a reason, guys. There's a reason. Mm. Yeah, his dad is from England. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. You got yourself on a Brett. Brett, I do the damn thing.
Out of there. Because he view Curry wickedness, and I know that we are going to get into this story. And trust me, this man has not done half of what Andrew Honest had done. Working against Curry. Let us dip and dive into that. Let us bring up the first information.
Listen to this.
So we are going to break it down for the people and make the people understand. Right? Now, let us hear this.
To a TVJ News update now, nomination day activities are not expected to go ahead tomorrow in a compound in St. Elizabeth as initially planned. Lawyers at the firm Philip Trail and Company applied for an injunction last week on behalf of candidate Meredith Rowe to prevent the election from taking place until the matter is heard. Now, the injunction was granted for an initial 28 days. Mr. Rowe, a former Maroon colonel and prospective candidate in the election, said the process has been unfair and is flawed.
In former times, whenever we have elections, each colonel takes steps to advise all prospective candidates in time so that we meet with that planning committee to make preparation for both the enumeration and the elections and the location for the polling areas and things like that. And when we settled on it now, the Electoral Office of Jamaica has been asked to assist, and they always assist. The government have no objection to the Electoral Office supervise our elections in terms of even venue.
Now, he further argued that with the February 18 date for the constitutional holding of the election having passed, Chief Richard Curry, is no longer the leader of a compound Maroons. Now, Chief Curry recently announced that nomination day was set for tomorrow, May 15, and election day on May 22. In the meantime, another prospective candidate in the election, immediate past Colonel Ferron Williams, had also accused Chief Curry of undermining the process, failing to consult with potential candidates and shortening the time between nomination and election day.
This will not happen. And I am asking the government of Jamaica to step in, because come Friday, it won't be if he persists and try to have a nomination. Because I can tell you, the people in a compound, they will be up in arms.
Okay.
Not never.
Jamaica.
Not like that never. There was no bangarang, there was nothing. It happened and it does.
Before we start, let me show you that external influences
Yes.
behind them two either.
Yep. Listen to this.
Behind them two sell out there.
Bootlickers.
Behind them two outslave them, make anti-owners and use them. The first question I'm going to ask is going to blow them out of the water.
Yes.
When you look at them two here, I am asking, which part will you get big money from to apply to King Council liar?
Think about it.
Where do you get money from?
Where did they get the money?
Tell me, where do you get money from to apply to use King Council liar? Eh? When you don't even have money to buy box food. When you don't even have money to buy one drink of rum and buy box food. But you don't have big King Council liar because mayhem. Who going to the money? Eh? And to own us the funnel
from
to create mayhem. So the first question we ask, show the entire world the influence that pushing you people.
the motive.
Who don't have money? Who don't have money? Who don't even have money to buy box food? But you don't have big King Council liar and attack on fumble jumble. Right? You see what people who don't understand what corruption costs?
I tell you, man. I tell you.
When you see them two here, don't understand what Richard Curry is fighting. Don't understand what Richard Curry is pushing back against. For their own good, for them two idiots are one good. Don't understand that if Richard Curry lower his arms as it relates to his protection, Andrew One is pushing the crony capitalists, and them later on are going to regret it when it is too late. Bring up melting pot. Bring up melting. Can't buy box food. Can't buy a drink of rum. All of a sudden, have Casey liar behind them. They push Andrew Owen's mandate. Honestly, the level of wickedness, people. Before we go any.
And if you guys think and doubt that that's exactly what they're doing in terms of pushing Andrew Jones's mandate, I'm gonna go to the TVJ interview. I think it was yesterday or today. Wait a minute, Marlon Mallow on the news again. Marlon Mallow is fully active, ladies and gentlemen. Fully active. Where is it? Here it is. Got him. Listen to this. To this.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. And a special welcome again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. First up this evening, it's not over. That assertion from one of the candidates who intended to contest the Accompong Maroon elections. Meredith Rowe was reacting to the nomination of the sole contender who has since been ratified as the Maroon chief, Richard Curry. Janella Precious reports.
Following Friday's nomination, confirmation came Saturday from the Accompong Electoral Committee that Richard Curry is the elected chief of the Maroon town. This in defiance of a court injunction ordering that nomination and election day exercises be put on hold. The legal action was taken by prospective candidates who'd raised the concern about the election process.
Having had the injunction, and more so, a copy served on him, we will be consulting with our attorney at law, Philip Trail and Company, and Mondaman for further legal advice as to the way forward. I heard the man news that yes, he acknowledged about the injunction, but he still will proceed. And I know that the High Court, the Supreme Court of this land, is the highest office in this land, higher than even the Prime Minister's office, so to speak. So it is said that who can hear will feel.
In an interview with TVJ News after he was nominated, Chief Curry described the legal challenge as unfortunate and unfounded. He pointed to the Maroon Constitution, which he argues clearly sets out the process under which an election is to be staged. But for Mr. Rowe,
he set about to set up a private board of elders with persons chosen without any of us knowledge, prospective candidate knowledge, and set them up. Some of them, they are not known to be Maroons either. And they went about and do some numeration. There is no verification.
Curry also questioned Mr. Rowe's legitimacy as a candidate, contending that he has not lived in a compound for some time.
He fought that for we to have allowed him to run 5 years ago. He never banned him.
The man said that Chief Curry is fortunate that 5 years ago they allowed him to run for chief. This is embarrassing. So this was not an issue for you 5 years ago, but now it's an issue. I wonder why. And I'm not saying that your issues are valid, you know, but really, bro? This is your argument?
Here, he don't go there, he don't go to school there, and he never lived there. He only visit often since he become colonel. But he has no vested interest in the Maroon community. And that's why there was a conflict.
Come on, bro. What do you mean him not have no vested interest in the Maroon community? The man literally carry one of the most. The man was important in the acquiring through his work and recognition from overseas entities. A technology that takes atmospheric air and turns it into water. A self-serving machine that's powered by solar energy. What are you talking about? What did you do in your capacity for the people of the Maroons that equals to what Chief Curry has done? You know, when you start asking these questions, you know, it destroys the arguments that this man is making. You know. It destroys the argument. Listen to this.
Yeah. But he has no vested interest in the Maroon community. And that's why there was a confrontation between him and the Prime Minister.
There you go. Bingo. Mute your mic. There you go. Bingo. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you hear that? He has no vested interest in the Maroon community, and that's why there was a confrontation between him and Andrew Honest. So, sir, did Andrew Honest born as a Maroon? Does Andrew Honest live? All the things I just said the chief does not do. Does Andrew Honest live in a compound? Was he born a Maroon? So how comes Andrew Honest in your mind, in terms of your argument? And I hope you're listening. This is the man who I talk, the Maroon guy. What name? I don't know. Yeah, but the elder. You believe that Andrew Honest have more of the Maroon at heart more than Chief Curry? You believe that? Or you want us to believe that? This is hilarious. Uncle Mark, what you had to do? Yeah. This is what you had to do with Uncle Mark. This is hilarious, yeah, man. Mm.
May I tell you, them fear all who will stand up against them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Them fear that. At the Backramasa days, and that's why the other day when them touch the mace, they were so pissed off.
Yeah, man. To me, you're right, because it's like them are trying to maintain the colonizer status quo in Jamaica, even at the compound, even amongst the Maroons. It's a total sellout straight across the board.
What? So bad. And they might try everything to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But Bolo, me say a thing. And listen to me clearly. Right now, them have a bigger fear than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
America announced, say, a 2019, no, a 2029, Prezi is coming out. And that are them biggest fear. One Marcus Garvey I go rise up again. Somebody have to rise up and take them down.
People must rise up, man. I agree.
You have to answer that, you know, what I just say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But look and listen out. And them biggest fear that and Rosie talk it.
Rose Hamilton?
Yes.
Mm.
Because downtown is for Prezi.
Mm.
And there's so much people from all about it come at Valley Yard and fight the Prezi. You can imagine if he come out and start back the same thing.
Why, the way of the US here right now, I don't think he would have been able to do that. I don't think.
2020.
Yeah, but what may I say? I don't think he would have been able to do that. Yeah, I don't think
Listen,
listen, the way of the US are move right now.
Ocho, Taki, all of them beat England.
Devon, big up.
Remember history. The English governor there, they fear them. Never turn out bigger than politics.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah. Uncle Mark, me, I want you to take a 60 seconds to wrap up in the car. Me have only part
Yeah,
of
man, we done, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we done, man.
All right, my boss.
All right.
Respect.
Listen.
Thanks for the contribution, General. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, Jamaica, so. All right, Uncle Mark. So.
To run 5 years ago.
Listen to
he
this.
Never born there. He don't go there. He don't go to school there. And he fortunate for we to have allowed him to run 5 years ago. He never born there. He don't go there. He don't go to school there. And he never lived there. He only visit often since he become colonel. but he has no vested interest in the Maroon community. And that's why there was a confrontation between him, a cross between him and the Prime Minister. We want to do this one thing. And we have some.
So when you say is the Prime Minister this a man I represent, and the Prime Minister argument him I represent, you know, Andrew Jones is behind all of this. All of this we are going with you know, the media. The fact that these people have a lawyer and they can't afford one. That is the connection, Jamaica. Listen to the man I tell you without telling you.
Well, yeah, and he never lived there. He only visit often since he become colonel. But he has no vested interest in the Maroon community. And that's why there was a confrontation between him, a cross between him and the Prime Minister. We want to do this one thing. And we have some legal questions to ask him. Because he's the only colonel ever set up a GoFundMe. We don't know what happened to the money.
As for Mr.
Jamaica. Man, they say they don't know what happened to the money. Yo, we can't believe this. The man my God after Mr. Korea, man.
Curry's claim that he has done more in 5 years than any other Maroon chief, Mr. Rowe also hit back, pointing to the chief's handling of Hurricane Melissa recovery.
He done nothing. The government of Jamaica began the process of replacing the roof of the people who burned out.
Jamaica, I want to see why Andrew Jones go up there and was so interested to help the Maroons them. It was a PR stunt. Phil Concon said this. Want to see play? Want to see chess move? Want to see the chess move? All about land grab. All about this man is a complete sellout. Wow. You know, that's why you need a balance of youth and elder where power and council of nations is concerned. Because a lot of the times, the elderly persons, no disrespect, they become weary and they don't have that zeal that they had before. And equally, sometimes young people become zealous and they move away from the path that actually benefits the people because of their own ambitions. So there has to be a balance between the elderly and the youth. And I believe that when you look at the grand scheme of things, um, Chief Curry seems to strike that balance. He's not a very young man, and he's not a very old man either, and he has elders on the council. And I from his interactions, it appears that he respects the law of the Maroons and their customs. He really embodies it. You understand? So, you know, to me, the fact that this man called Andrew Jones' name, he actually tainted this argument using the Prime Minister. Who cares what the Prime Minister wants for the Maroons? We only care what the Maroons want for the Maroons. The Prime Minister should go sit down and leave the Maroons alone and leave their lands alone. It's not his lands. It's not. People people died for that level of sovereignty. What has Andrew Jones done to claim anything? What has he done? Got elected by some people that got their freedom because of the Maroons. Or you think we get our freedom? The Maroons, they literally, guys, have you ever bought a piece of land that was never farmed before, and it's just thick with trees and vegetation and everything? You see that, and you don't have any equipment where you can drive and bulldoze nothing. You have to use your hand and chop and clean up the land and them something there. Yeah, man, can't find your hand and them thing there. That's what the Maroons did to clear a way for freedom in this country. They are the ones that did that. Say what they were not perfect. Understand the history. There was an agreement between them, and we understand all of that. But freedom as we know it here, it was never a concept. It was never even There was no hope for it until the Maroons. It's just the truth. How dare Andrew Honest in his capacity decide that no, hey guys, I have a live goal that ends in 2 minutes. Yes, on Bolo VNR 2.0. Can anybody help me with that live goal? Yeah man. Bless up the super chat guys. Anyway, this man clearly, yeah, is a sellout.
And they went about and do some numeration. There is no verification.
Curry also questioned Mr. Rowe's legitimacy as a candidate, contending that he has not lived in a compound for some time.
He fortunate for we to have allowed him to run 5 years ago. He never born there, he don't go there, he don't go to school there, and he never lived there.
So Andrew Barnier go to school there and live there. So like they want Andrew Honest to be the Maroon chief. This dude, man.
He don't visit often since he become colonel.
So Andrew Honest visit when he feel like. So why empire? Yo, you see how listen. Just reverse the curse and reverse the order. Here? Anytime I bring up Orange Chang name, just reverse the curse and reverse the order. Mighty God.
Has no vested interest in the Maroon community. And that's why there was a confrontation between him, across that between him and the Prime Minister. We want to do this one thing. And we have some legal questions to ask him. Because he's the only colonel ever set up a GoFundMe. We don't know what happened to the money.
As for Mr. Curry's claim that he has done more in 5 years than any other Maroon chief, Mr. Rowe also hit back, pointing to the chief's handling of Hurricane Melissa recovery.
He done nothing. The government of Jamaica began the process of replacing the roof of the people house burned out. The primary school is a lady from Canada fund the project to cover this primary school as well as the basic school. He done nothing.
Janella Perseus, TVJ News.
So Jamaica, if you influence, right? If you are the one that got donors to the table, right? If you are the ones that got donors to the table to help to actually fix up a school, what do you mean you done nothing? That's you using your influence. That's like saying Andre Stevens did nothing for the people in Westmoreland. Right? The money that Andre Stevens spent was not his money. It was the people's money from overseas. You see how slow the arguments that he's making is? It don't make no sense. It's utter rubbish. Utter rubbish. I want to segue a little bit because I see something very interesting. Listen to this.
Appeals for the church, or rather from the church, for greater transparency and independent oversight as the Senate passes the NARA bill. There are also calls for clarity amid the recent Auditor General report, which showed that the government has only spent less than 2% of cash donations for Hurricane Melissa victims. Kelisha Williams reports.
It was the 85th anniversary celebration for the Webster United Church in St. Andrew, a morning marked by dance, music, and thanksgiving. However, the sermon took a different note. During his sermon, moderator for the United Church in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, Dr. Colin Cowan, used the opportunity to address several issues within the public discourse. First up, Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts.
It is going 7 months after Melissa, and the public still does not know the extent of contribution to the national hurricane relief effort. Nor do we know whether any condition is attached to such contribution.
A recent Auditor General report showed that up to February 2026, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, had only spent 1.8% of cash donations for Hurricane Melissa victims.
Jamaica, I want to pass that, isn't it? At a celebration gathering of the church, and he went in about the relief money. Very interesting.
And so, while the Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie, opposition leader
Oh, Mark Golden was there. Well on, well on, well on. No, me understand.
only spent 1.8% of cash donations for Hurricane Melissa victims. And so, while the Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie, opposition leader Mark Golding, and other parliamentarians sat in the pews, Dr. Cowan also had this question.
Desmond McKenzie is visibly upset, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if they'll storm out of the church. I know Mama Sandra did it. Mark Bully and his wife did it, you know. Mighty God, this is interesting. No. Okay, I see you. I see you, sir. I don't know nothing about you, but Desmond McKenzie sitting in that front row. Who you? Mark Bully sitting beside his wife, and over and over there, so and then one next person, and then Desmond McKenzie. Or two person, and then Desmond McKenzie, and then my next two person. Yes.
Worth sat in McKenzie,
See there? Mark Bolin, his wife, one lady, Desmond McKenzie, and one ex-brother.
opposition leader Mark Golding, and other parliamentarians sat in the pews. Dr. Cowan also had this question.
Worst yet, we're once again approaching the 2026 hurricane season, and the blue roofs abound across affected parishes. I ask, is there an answer as to why less than 2% of hurricane relief funds have been spent, notwithstanding the desperate circumstances of many, many Jamaicans?
While pointing out that it may just be an issue of communication, Dr. Cowan said
Julian Robinson was there, me just see my while ago. Backside.
while pointing out that it may just be an issue of communication, Dr. Cowan said communication is an important tenet of leadership and it should not be undervalued. Now, since the Auditor General
Jamaica, the man is saying, if it is indeed a communication situation, how could you not communicate? The man not give them no excuse in Jamaica. So me love when the people that deal with the government. You never know. They feel better, man.
report, the government has defended its management of Hurricane Melissa relief efforts and stressed that the report highlights the need for the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA. However, for the church,
we do support reconstruction, resilience building, and administrative efficiency. Our call, however, is for all of this to be done in a manner that inspires public trust and reflects ethical values of fairness, stewardship, and accountability.
Whoa.
And in going forward,
I hope no one considers it too much for us to ask for a strong and independent oversight mechanism, transparent procurement and reporting procedures, protection against conflict of interest, meaningful consultation with affected communities, clear environmental safeguards, and equitable protection for vulnerable communities.
Jamaica, me not tell no lie. That one I lit me for 6. I had no idea. This was 3 hours ago. I had no idea. Wow. Wow. You can imagine Desmond McKenzie sat there and listen. That pastor should have looked, he said, Andrew Willis never did it. Remember what happened to the last pastor? I remember what happened to the last pastor for St. Mary funeral. Come like a dopey box him down. When he starts to Andrew have some strong dopey I walk with. You know, I don't mean say so. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to Mystic.
on this, right? Before we go any further than the buffoonery,
Yes.
let me ask my brother Melton back. He can be. Bless him.
Blessing my people. Good night, you know.
Let us show the progress what is taking place. So, both of them, right, being supported by Andrew Wallace, right, who is now financing them.
Oh, he's not from Jamaica. He's a part of the church, but he lives in the Cayman. Oh, thank you, Mario, for that distinction. But I wasn't even looking at the fact that he actually said it overall is like, wow, that really got me. I'm like, man.
It's correct. So the GLP now is financing them to get out correct. Now, CTF people, court ruling pauses a compound election process. Right? So their injunction, right, has been processed. And this is today's date, people. Let me show you. This is today's date, May 15, 2026. So yes, they had gotten their injunction, right, in process. Now, a Supreme Court judge on Wednesday granted an application for an injunction that will effectively halted a planned nomination day exercise that was scheduled to take place in a compound St. Elizabeth today. Now, me are watching the Jones. You understand? You can set up all their derricks for alt election. You understand? But we are going to watch you keenly, right? If you are going to use, right, assist your two affiliates as it relates to Pegasus there, because we know where the Pegasus located. The court order is expected to also spoil plans for the election of a new leader that was scheduled for next Friday in the Maroon community. A copy of the order handed down by Justice N.H. Hines shared with the Jamaica Observer on Thursday. So now move fast. Want to see how now move fast? That's why we said that justice is selective. Look how fast we want to move on this. So let me ask a question. What happened to Paul Buchanan? What happened to Paul Buchanan's situation? Look how fast Jamaica looking at. Jamaica, just look.
Now, this is an excellent question. If you guys have not heard the exclusive with Paul Buchanan, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm talking to those on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to the video of Paul Buchanan that I released exclusive, the breaking news exclusive, where he talks about that court case and a special date that's coming up in June that we will see whether Jamaica is operating under democracy or not. Mikana, what's up? Yeah? Telling you. So he's making an excellent point. Look how they're moving with speed where the judiciary is concerned to deal with this situation with the Maroons. But what about Paul Buchanan's case? Oh no, that's on the back burner, right? We can't move with speed on that one. That would embarrass the Prime Minister allegedly and embarrass the Jamaica Labour Party and cause a bangara. But it will be a bangara.
Look how fast this situation progress.
So this is what persons were telling me about that. Somebody said to me, Bolo, are you alone? And them vice me, I said, are you alone? And Mystic Sensation, I talking about the Paul Buchanan thing. And I'm glad to send out the video and, you know, him feel encouraged and then stand with Mr. Paul Buchanan. You big up Mr. Paul Buchanan. Anybody who represent Mr. Paul Buchanan that's listening, tell the general say big up, big up, big up. Thank him so much for his resolve. Him not backing down. I wish that other MPs could have had one, the support that Paul Buchanan had, and two, you know, the team that he had to say, yo, we're not giving up, and then push and push and push and, you know? So, big up Mr. Paul Buchanan. You know, it hurt me, you know, you see Miranda Wellington and, what's her name again? Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting her name. Well, I'm gonna remember.
Quick response, because they want to stop Curry. Now, so let me ask the question. What happened to Paul Buchanan, right? How long Paul Buchanan? How long Paul Buchanan situation get over? And we are not hearing nothing from the Supreme Court. We are not hearing anything. Look how fast, look how quick, look how speed. Look at the speed with this. Look Jamaica. This corrupted Andrew Holness, right? But let me say this. We are going to unite and we are going to definitely have you face the criminal justice system. Trust me, mark our words. A copy of the order handed down by Justice N.R. Inch, shared with the Jamaica Observer, and Thursday stated that upon the ex parte notice of application for interim injunction, it was ordered that nomination day and election day exercise be stayed until June 10, 2026, or until
Gabriela Morris. You see Gabriela Morris seat? Only God alone can come tell me, say, I'm not thief that seat. Miranda Wellington seat, same thing. Only God alone can come tell me, say, I'm not thief them thief. Yeah, man, be a hanky punky, man. That's my belief. Be a hanky punky.
such date as the amended notice of application for the court orders filed are heard. When you hear that, Jamaican people? So what happened to the Paul Buchanan situation as it relates to Andrew Holness? What about that? The hearing of the amended ex parte notice of application for interim injunction is fixed for the 10th day of June 2026 at 10 a.m. for 1 hour by video conference, or as soon as counsel may be heard. The order read. Take this away. But Jamaica, let me talk to you. And let us get to the bottom of this. Before I get there, let me ask Melvin Pot if he wants to have any say on those two clips. Right? Because we are going to dig deep. Pat, you have anything to say as it relates to?
Play it back in us, Baron. I know the whole intricacy surrounding, Andrew would say, look, in its one, all of it have respect for the Maroon sovereignty. Now, in the case of this crime minister, we have, where, him can't certify, but him just go all about and spread him virus of corruption. This way, him get to the previous chief, the nastiness one,
True.
Yeah, where it's a sellout.
That's true.
In my work with, to overthrow Chief Curry. But that previous one, they come in like they done me over Portland. You understand? If it's just only for him belly, that him want to give the Maroon sovereignty to a criminal, Andrew Holness, Yeah, because Andrew have him and Jen Maroon land.
Which one of them get money to order KC line?
I don't know. I don't know, because last time I see him look like a hookworm. Not suffer. You understand? So I know him get money from the higher KC liar. But we know Andrew have few in the thing. Because Andrew have endeavor enough for the Maroon, piece of land, Yeah, and then realize the eco-friendly system of the Maroon land when want up in the cockpit country. 40% of the watershed that,
Yes.
How can make a criminal? Yeah.
40% of our watershed, Jamaica, it must not take place. It must not happen. The mining, any type of mining, nothing like that, nothing one in the Maroon area, them Jamaica, nothing like that, nothing one, the watershed, them, the aquifer, them Jamaica. You see, Andrew Holness go against the ruling in government, planning on appealing the ruling of the Supreme Constitutional Court, in regard to the Bengal mining permit. Jamaica take sleep mark death. Have to stand up. Whatever happens to the Maroons happens to us. The petition isn't on my YouTube page, on every video. As a matter of fact, persons on YouTube, if you're paying attention right now to Nightbot, the AI moderator on my platform, all Nightbot does is drop messages that is important to this platform. So you see, it says PayPal directly, make a quiet one-time donation. That link is right there. I should put purchase a cup of tea or purchase me a coffee or something like that. That's what I should put. Um, Subscribe to me. That's my other page. We have hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe to my other page. So those are the links to my other pages. Um, Donate to the anonymous link. That's also a part of it as well. You have a message that gives out my phone number if you want to join the WhatsApp group. And of course, you can have my phone number for other things as well outside of that, but it's there. Um, you know, sometimes people want to call in and stuff like that. Although, I need to have a designated day that I do a show that persons can call in. Because, hey, walk one, buddy. David said Andrew Honest all using taxpayers' money for his own um, opinion. We will never learn until the worst comes. But who has ears to hear, let them hear. Listen carefully and make the necessary adjustments. I know, right? Um, Patrick Grace Bolo, that's why he wants the Nara bill because he can take on the Maroon land. Well, let me tell you something, my brother. Um, One of these days, Andrew, this is gonna come out with a shocking revelation, and it's gonna backfire on him. Yeah, man, it's gonna backfire upon him. Trust me. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. He is after the natural gases and oils. Father Marcus, big up, respect. All right. Yeah.
Go damage your watershed because he want to mine out the place. You understand? We cannot afford that.
Yeah.
One, two, water, reliability. Yeah. When you come damage that the rainforest. What to it? Last time we see them sending some man go cut out the whole heap of lumber them. I don't think the Maroon them get paid for that lumber. No. You understand? This guy just going road causing mayhem in the country and him not certify him a criminal, international criminal. If you leave the problem, yeah, with the Maroon land, take it off him head. No other prime minister ever pursue the Maroon space. Yeah, the Maroon have them one chief designated to govern in certain regard. Yeah, stabilize the Maroon town and the Maroon people. Yeah, and preserve them sovereignty. What them get from the governor of United Kingdom way back 9 days. You understand? So I don't know why Andrew have problem with the Maroon settlement in a compound town. Yeah? But it's a criminal venture and depending on. Alone, Jamaica no want no more assistance from you in a development because you don't develop the country. You have the country to develop from 2016 and what you do. You wreck the country. And all you do is go around and spy out which part the asset of the country there. And when you don't get it where you sell it, and when you don't sell it, you thief it, you're a criminal. I yield back the floor to the third hand, Byron.
All right. Now let us deal with some serious situation in terms of bringing in evidence, right, as it relates to owners working behind the scenes to overthrow Curry. Let us get to right the next subject matter, right, and building up the evidence here. Now, Jamaica, let me say this. There's a rift between and
Before we go in there, Riff, something I really forgot to play. Because all we have to do is go on Chief Curry page.
has brought it back to us and is a very important man in history. And why is it important to speak about your birthright? This man right here has brought it back to us and is a very important man in history. I hope Chief Richard Curry doesn't wait posthumously as they do to many of our heroes to give you your flowers, sir. Because it's not till Marcus Garvey left when he was rebelling against Babylon's system that now he became a hero. It wasn't till many others that after they were rebels, considered rebels or terrorists or whatever, while they were doing their duty on earth. It's like, right? It's not till them gone in the ground 6 feet under. All of a sudden, we want to remember them, write about them, and all of these things. But this man is in living relationship with us, and we're going to give him his flowers for what he has done and what the rest of the council, not just him, but there is a team of shadow people that is behind him. Always hear Chief Curry doing and talking on his own. That is not true. There are people.
Music. Got dropped down on the account form. Hey, before I continue, have you guys paid attention to Zulika Jess page lately? I want to say, MP Jess, continue to do the wonderful job you're doing, the equitable job that you're doing for all the persons in your constituency. Zinc, water, food, all type of supplies, all type of supplies, Jamaica. One Zulika Jess, me I tell you. But I soon come to our state. I'm going to play that tape. I'm going to use the phone and show them. Alright, so this is Chief Curry.
My beloved people of a compound cockpit country and other sacred lands. At last evening's town hall meeting, we were gathered for several updates, including the dates of the upcoming election. I reminded us that we are at a defining moment in our history, because this election is not just about leadership. It is about legacy. It is about freedom. It is about sovereignty. It is about whether the descendants of the unconquered Maroons will continue to stand firm upon the covenant made by our ancestors generations ago. And though every challenge, every storm, every attack, every attempt to divide us, one truth has remained constant: that over the past 5 years, we protected our land, stood strong in crisis, and brought a compound to the world. Now it is time to unite and move forward together. So, my people, this is not a slogan, nor is it a testimony. For 5 years, we inherited one of the most difficult and dangerous periods in modern history. Threats were rising against our lands, against our rights, against our freedom, and against our future. Power interests, sir.
Where think you matter? Where think Chief Curry talking? Threats rising amongst against their interests. Guys, I don't know why so many people is on the live that do you guys don't you know how to hit the like button, guys? Is that what it is? If you don't, so alright, so I'm looking at you right now. I'm not looking at the other two folks, just you. You see up here, sir? There is a thumbs up symbol. Click the thumbs up symbol, or you can double tap right here on the screen that my finger is tapping with your fingers, that is 1, 2, and you're done. That's how you hit the like button. You guys over here, same thing. Double tap the middle on the screen where you see my finger is. Double tap right here, and you're done. Look up here, sir. You see the thumbs up symbol beside the amount of people watching, and you hit it, and you can like and share and all of that. TikTok, you guys already know what to do. Double tap the screen, the middle of the screen, till we get to 50,000 likes, and donate. Gift, whatever. Whatever. If you can't donate, just double tap the screen. Alright? Why are you laughing? I am redeemed. No, for real, like so many people watch me and they come and they pass through and they never hit the like button. I'm like, how does so many people come through the line? It's like, what the like button, you know, bad mind the like button or something? Jesus, no man.
The cockpit country, looking not at our rich heritage, but at the bauxite, the rare earth minerals, and the oil beneath our feet.
Hey,
Nothing of the water. But we understood something they did not understand. To us, this land is not a commodity. It is sacred. The land carries the footsteps of Captain Kodjo and our ancestors who fought and died so we could stand free today.
Jamaica, does Chief Curry sound like somebody that does not have a vested interest in the Maroons? That nonsense that old man talk. Them allergic to the light, but yes, I am redeemed.
And so we led from the front and protected what matters. When threats emerged against cockpit country, we stood firm against the mining interests and illegal annexations. We protested. We pursued legal action. We defended the rights that were guaranteed through the spirit and legacy of the 1738 treaty. When incidents arose in Beth Salem and Quickstep, we did not abandon our people. When the international community needed to hear the truth of our people, we carried the voice of Akompong and the Maroons to the UN CERD in 2022. This followed the visit of the Special Country Rapporteur and other delegates from around the world here to Akompong. And because we stood strong, your land is still yours. Your rights are still yours. And the Maroon people remain unconquered. So, my elders, we did not forget our duty to preserve the soul of our people. Because culture is not decoration, it's not just drums. Culture is identity, culture is resistance, culture is survival. Over the last 5 years, we revived and protected our traditions with pride. We hosted the largest January 6th celebration in decades. We renovated our museum and cultural center. We upgraded the tourism experience. We added bathrooms. We restored other facilities. We built key partnerships and relationships with external members and external groups. We constructed monuments and traditional huts that honor our ancestors and educate future generations.
Jamaica, this man is not reading from a script, you know. He is sitting down in the most natural space in the Akamko. Somewhere on the hills, a big oak tree. I believe it's an oak tree. And he's just talking off the top of his head. And they had the audacity to say that Chief Curry did not do anything. Did you hear all the things that he said he just did? Yo, and still more?
We improved facilities so visitors from around the world could experience Akompong with dignity and
Mm.
and to the young listening. Never be ashamed of who you are. Your culture is your strength. Your history is your inheritance. Your identity is your armor in a world trying to erase uniqueness and replace it with confusion. My people, the world knows Akompong. The world knows the Maroons of Jamaica. For generations, our story was ignored, misunderstood, and overlooked. But over the last 5 years, Akompong became a global voice.
True.
We received recognition from the US Congress. UNESCO grants supported our cultural mission so that we are now a priority grantee, and the Smithsonian acknowledged our significance with publications and displays in their museums. International universities and researchers have sought partnerships with us. Royal delegations from Africa, the Caribbean, and around the world have connected with us. We reconnected our diaspora. The voice of Akompong traveled through Forbes magazine, Vice TV, and other major media platforms, international networks all across the world. Our cultural ambassadors, such as Buju Banton, Sprague Bench, Popcorn, they all stood beside us. Relationships were formed with institutions such as the Center for Reparations Research at UWI. And those who once believed Akompong was too small to matter, we proved that a people with courage, vision, and identity can never be small. At the same time, we modernized leadership while remaining faithful to tradition. We pursued constitutional reform and ratified a new constitution in March 2022 because governance must evolve with accountability and unity. We embraced digital communication to keep our people connected locally and internationally. We introduced revolutionary technology, such as the atmospheric water generator system, with a 24-hour solar infrastructure, because leadership means preparing for the future before crisis arrives. And when crisis did arrive, we did not run. When Hurricane Beryl and Melissa struck our community, our leadership did not collapse. We acted. We stabilized communities with communication systems such as Starlink systems. We mobilized food, relief, and recovery supplies through local and diaspora support. More than 37 communities were reached, and over 4,000 relief packages were distributed. Homes were rebuilt and continued to be built. Materials were supplied to over 90 households across our communities. Our primary school was repaired.
Bro, what is going on? How did this one come on television and say Chief Curry did nothing? The man have receipts for everything we must say no. Like the atmospheric machine, he doesn't have to say anything after that. Fighting for the land and going to the UK and all of the recognition to make sure that the Maroons are recognized globally for what they are, a sovereign nation of people, a sovereign territory. Come on, man. Stop it.
And being the first in Jamaica to be repaired after the storm was a monumental achievement for us. We received generators, power saws, and equipment that would secure and strengthen our future disaster response. We chose people over politics because leadership is not measured when times are easy.
True.
Leadership is measured when the time becomes stormy.
True.
And yes, we face challenges.
No, with that in mind, how would you measure the leadership of Andrew Willis and his government? How would you measure it? Honestly, guys. Thank you for the follow. How would you measure that?
There were many disagreements and at times division. There were moments of tension and frustration. But hear me now. We faced division, but we never lost direction. We chose stability over chaos. We chose fairness over recklessness because it is better to take time and preserve the integrity of our system than to destroy it through confusion and haste.
Yes.
And through every challenge, we remain focused. Focused on protecting the people and defending the future. My brothers and sisters, the next chapter of a compound cannot be built on division. The enemy is not each other. The true danger is disunity, while powerful forces continue watching our lands, waiting for weaknesses, waiting for opportunity, waiting for surrender.
Jamaica.
But let them hear us clearly.
Yes.
A compound, the cockpit country, is not for sale. Our freedom is not negotiable, and the spirit of the Maroons will never bow. Now is the time to move from survival into development. The next 5 years must bring visible transformation into the lives of our people.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs that create long-term opportunity.
Yes.
Roads that connect our communities.
Mm-hmm.
Reliable water systems.
Mm-hmm.
Stronger internet and communications infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
We have initiated a 100-acre agriculture initiative, beginning with a 3-acre town project. Plans are moving forward for the development of a 200-acre ecotourism initiative that can create sustainable economic growth and jobs while protecting our environment, our culture, and our heritage.
Come on, talk to me.
Because freedom without economic strength remains vulnerable.
Yes.
To the youth of a compound, we are building for you. Over the past 5 years, we have issued well over 600 scholarships and grants that have been facilitated to the friends of a compound and those who continue to support this government's initiative. Scholarship opportunities were expanded to partnerships through friends far and wide. The Maroon Studies was also introduced in the UWI's history department. And this, so our story will never be told by others. The Compound Technological and Entrepreneur Center will facilitate innovation and the development of our youths. It will equip them with first class knowledge and
Jamaica, listening to this man, isn't he doing more than a Jonas for his little community? I use Anjones constituency to judge him. Has Anjones done this for his constituency that this man is talking about? Interesting.
skills to take on this world that we're now living in. The most vulnerable feeding plan remains a commitment to this administration. And to our elders, we want to ensure that they're safe and taken care of. And people, the ancestors are watching us. Captain Kodjo is watching us. Nani is watching us. Those who bled for this land are watching us. And they're asking us one question. Will this generation remain united? United enough to protect what was sacrificed for? I believe the answer is yes. I believe the Maroons of a compound are ready for another chapter of strength, another chapter of dignity, another chapter of unity, another chapter of progress. So I ask every son and daughter to stand together again, not in hatred, not in bitterness, not in confusion, but in purpose, in dignity, in love, and in respect. Love for the sacred land, love for the people. Because in the past 5 years, we proved that we can stand. It reminded us of who we are. The next 5 years will prove we can rise together, but this time in dignity and respect. And now, as the moment approaches, on Friday, May 15, 2026, we gather for nomination day. On Friday, May 22nd, 2026, the people of our compound and the Maroons of Trelawney Town make their decision for history and the ancestors for future generations yet unborn. The drums will sound across the hills. Let every district rise. Let every elder stand proud. Let every youth understand the weight of this critical moment. Because this is bigger than one man. This is a compound. This is cockpit country. This is legacy. This is sovereignty. This is freedom. This is destiny. And as we move forward together, remember these words, that we the willing, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much for so long with so little. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. May the ancestors guide us. May unity strengthen us. And may a compound and cockpit country stand eternally free. Ashe.
Five out, countryman a come, Babylon.
How do you feel about hearing all of those things? And what will you say to the person that always,
Five out.
so all the things that we're saying just before today, how do you feel about hearing all of those things? And what will you say to the person that always been saying certain things?
It is unfortunate because when I came back to a compound, the only thing I heard was a compound can never be better. Maroon will never be better. And these were the same persons that were in leadership in those periods and in those tenures. And in the 5 years that I've been here, I've outdone what they have done in the combined period that they've all sat here. Don't ask me, ask the people. They can tell you.
How you feeling yourself knowing that you are the person who will lead from the front?
I believe the will of the people will always stand at the front. And that in itself shows up on the ballots. And that's where I leave it.
You are the only candidate, so you might be the only person that go for the election day. What will be your plans going forward?
Well, the people have to know what the mission is, right? So in the campaigning, of course, we have to share what the vision and the mission is moving from here into the next phase. We've done quite a lot, elevating our status, elevating our quality of life, elevating the level of dignity, within our communities. We've brought back a sense of pride around the culture. We've renovated schools, historical monuments, roads. We've done so many things. We put in place a clinic. We've had atmospheric water generator, which in the storm that powered.
Jamaica, the more else the chief Curry and the stuff to him as how this company TV just said the man I do nothing fit. Man, dunce, bro. This is sad, man.
The community, everybody who had a device was able to power and stay connected. We distributed Starlink devices across communities. We went into over 37 communities and distributed aid and support. We spent over $2 million in relief supply.
Sassy 81. One of my most, well, I have to say my most honorable member of the platform. I don't want to start. But my honorable member of the platform, how you doing, love? Hope all is well with you and the fam. Salute to you. I'm about wrapping up. I'm going to a couple of videos about Chief Curry because, you know, a lot of things going on. Alicia, how you doing, Alicia?
For our communities, built back homes that were destroyed. You can see one right there still being finished in the background. And
all the things that we're saying just before today, how do you feel about hearing all of those things? And what would you say to the person that always been saying certain things?
it is unfortunate because when I came back to a compound, the only thing I heard was
all the things that we're saying just before today, how do you feel about hearing all of those things? And what would you say to the person that always been saying certain things?
it is unfortunate because when I came back to a compound, the only thing I heard was a compound can never be better. Maroon will.
Jamaica, this is not the mentality of a lot of Jamaicans. Jamaica cannot be better. So a lot of people don't vote and just allow who is in power to continue to be in power because it doesn't matter who goes into power, nothing will change. All that nonsense. That is the poor, backward, rubbish mentality of the people. And it's not just it's the Maroons as well. Ain't that sad? I think that's very, very sad, bro. Terrible.
You know what happened in our community?
Community alright, man. Community run good. Chief Curry was alright, and we kind of acknowledge him and represent him as a general. So he's hard for good. Food for eat, water for drink. It's good like that, bro. He deserve the next 5 years. Nothing can stop him. And the best. We never snuck like that yet when we there.
Warrior them still there, same way, and nothing no really cheap.
Jamaica, want to hear that? Mighty God.
To us here in a compound. But there's one thing that is now clear. Not only to us here in a compound, but must be clear to the rest of Jamaica and the rest of the world. What is termed as community leadership, right? I put it in quotes. Community leadership has gained quite some attention in this era of time. So if I may say to other communities out there, go out and establish your community leadership structures. Yeah. Maybe you'll get the same attention that a compound is getting. Maybe you'll get the same level of assistance a compound is getting. So go out, communities. Push your community leaders forward. Elect them and put them up there and let them get the attention so you can get the attention. Peace and love. But there's one thing that is now clear.
Hey, listen, Sir Richard Curry, man, this dude is special, bro. He's special. You see what he just did there? He's sending direct shots at the government. Oh, so we are just community leaders. We are not a chief. We are not sovereign. So how comes you guys are paying so much attention to community leaders? Oh, so everybody else go and establish your communities so you can get the same attention, so you can get the same type of help. Hey, the man has said, be a shot. Well, not physical shots, obviously, but shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about. Hey, we are still up. Shots fired, bro. Tell it.
Not only to us here in a compound, but must be clear to the rest of Jamaica and the rest of the world. What is termed as community leadership, right? I put it in quotes. Community leadership has gained quite some attention in this era of time.
Jamaica, where did those two men that is former chiefs get a lawyer from? Where them find money? That's the attention. Why is the leader so interested in Chief Curry? Why did Oceanwide attack Chief Curry? You guys are not noticing a pattern. There's a machinery behind Andrew Wilson, media machinery. And whatever stance he takes, they automatically get a script. And they roll with the script. They are never objective. Never. It's clearly scripted. If you look at people that support the People's National Party, myself, Make We Talk Television, you will consider us PNP bloggers. But we don't agree on everything, not on every topic. There are certain principles that we're definitely going to always agree on. Certain approaches that we're just not going to agree on. You know, some people might want to see a different approach from, well, some people might want to see a different approach from the party leader, you know, and yeah, so we disagree on a lot of things. I mean, Carlos, Jamaica Carlos, Marvin, Marvin supported the People's National Party in the election, but you know, also burn them out, and you know, some things in seminar agree with. Me and Andre Stevenson agreed on Andre Stevenson agreed on everything. We have our own independent minds. And we're all men and women. And Isabel Rose, Auntie Jenny, Atta for the Press, Back in My TV, Mystic Sensation, Mr. Wayne Lonesome. Things that I don't agree, they don't agree with everything that I say either. You understand? Dre Bryan, you know what I mean? Vice of the Nation, you know? We all have independent minds. We all are sovereign here. We're not bought and paid for. Colin Bell, come on, seriously. Hmm? How much times, you know, the people have said to him, stop, entertain nephew. You see him drop nephew? Not even one time. We all run our shows different. You understand? We all have our own little way of doing things. And, you know, hey, you know, we would also know. Hindsight is 2020. Some things work for some people, some things don't work for others. It is what it is. You have the right and the sovereignty. I'm going back to the word sovereignty to run your house the way how you want to run it. As long as you're not harming anybody. Yes? So, if I may say to other communities out there, go out and establish your community leadership structures. Maybe you'll get the same attention that a company is getting. Maybe you'll get the same level of assistance a company is getting. So go out, communities. Push your community leaders forward. Elect them and put them there and let them get the attention so you can get the attention. Peace and love. Greetings, everyone. Pleasure speaking with you today. Big up Chief Curry. That was the last post he put out, and that's perfect timing because I'm just over 2 hours and I'm ready to go into my good bed. Alright, TB, big up yourself, mama. Big up everybody on the live that came through. Appreciate everybody. Um, TB_official. See her here in our picture. Big up yourself. Who else is in the building? Christopher. Everybody that hit the like button, everybody that sent gifts, did it? Yes. Person that joined the fan club, big up. Shout out to my newest member of the platform, Tissa Taylor. Shout out to Tissa Taylor on Bolo VNR 2.0. If she should come across this video, salute. Alright. Big up and big up all of my members. Every last one of y'all. Sylvan Freedom. Everybody. Salute, man. Alright. See you guys later. I am redeemed. Sassy81, Sassy D, if you're there. Sassy D probably asleep. Yeah. Later, y'all. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Jamaica M. Big up. E54, countryman at home.